sound he created and performed. Rare personal thoughts never before seen by the public, intimate memories, and reflections in his own words.
Millions of people know me as a star, but few really know who I am.
This is Elvis. The private moments, the public triumphs, the epic biography of the man behind the legend. This is Elvis.
Yes, Michael. The man is here.
We're all here because of him. May that continue with him leading the way.
This is the moment. This is it. Let's do it one more time. It's all for love. L-O-V-E.
Is Elvis really still alive? There seems to be enough evidence indicating he could be. Elvis's handwriting appears to be on his own death certificate. There are questions regarding Elvis's body from not only fans, but his own cousin as well.
That interview that was mustered up, that was put together for him, it makes him look great. That was not the Michael.
I've studied him more than probably family members know him, and I can tell you Michael Jackson by the way he points, the way he moves. I can tell you certain visuals, scenes of the show that's not Michael Jackson.
So whose body was in Elvis's coffin? The autopsy reports and official investigations into Elvis's death seem to pose more questions than answers. Elvis's grave placement itself is questionable. He has allegedly been photographed on at least 3 separate occasions after the date he was supposed to have died. Just prior to his reported death, he cashed in 2 life insurance policies. A third policy has still never been collected by any of his heirs. Is this because they know he's alive and wish to avoid insurance fraud? A checking account with $1 million, some cars, jewelry, and a private jet plane all vanished, either just prior to or just after Elvis's reported death. Gail took the death certificate and items written by Elvis to Paul Wiest, a certified graphologist who specializes in investigating forgeries.
I was asked by Gail Giorgio to examine some handwriting of Elvis Presley. She has supplied me with a copy of a letter written to President Nixon in 1970 and the death certificate, a medical examiner's report at the time of his reported death. I examined these 2 documents and compared them by measuring the slant of the handwriting, the spacing between the letters, the spacing between the words, the size of the letters, and the individual letter formations. I also made transparent photocopies, where I could lay one photocopy, a transparent copy on top of another one for close comparison. I examined these under transmitted light with a light table. The result of my examination was that I found that the slant matched on both documents, that the size of the letters was the same, the spacing between the letters was the same, and many of the individual letter forms were the same. My conclusions after this exhaustive examination was, in my professional opinion as a document examiner, that the same person who wrote the letter to President Nixon also wrote the Elvis Presley death certificate, a medical examiner's report of Elvis Presley's death.
I have read 663 FBI files on Elvis Presley, and his life was in danger. It's clear by the FBI reports there were serious assassination threats made against him.
Recently, Gail Giorgio and myself viewed FBI documents obtained by Gail. In these documents, Elvis was the subject of numerous death threats. Some of these threats came from well-known underground figures, and it was also common knowledge that an undercover agent traveled as one of Elvis's band members. It's because of this affiliation that Elvis had with government agencies, because of these death threats, and the fact that this agent traveled as one of his band members, that lead us to believe that the strong possibility exists he may very well be a part of the Witness Protection Program.
The new FBI files detail how Michael Jackson received death threats from a man obsessed with his famous sister, Janet. In a series of bizarre letters, which included threats against President George Herbert Walker Bush, Frank Paul Jones writes he'd commit mass murder at a Michael Jackson concert, if necessary, in an attempt to murder Michael.
Back in August, I learned that there was an FBI file on Michael Jackson. I made a request under the Freedom of Information Act, and as a result, this is what we have. We have the files coming out. There's some 673 pages.
I have read 663 FBI files.
But the FBI has only released 333 pages, so we're kind of curious as to what is in the balance of it. We're surprised and shocked by what we found in what they did release, though.
Many questions remain unanswered for too many people. The Elvis files have yet to be closed.
You won't get the full production show. To me, you're getting something better. You're getting to see the process of a genius, of greatness. Getting an inside peek of something that not too many people get to see. This was a guy that had really come full circle, and he was really ready to show the world best of Michael Jackson, and that was worth being there every day.
Let me read in my own time when I come back in. I'm going to cut my shirt, jacket, around, everything. I think I made it in.